Why is it that Easter moves around the year, but Christmas is always the same? The answer is a lunar calendar versus a solar calendar. One year, I was on the social committee at work, and we were planning out all of our events for April. And someone said, wait, when is Easter? Because that changes when we'd schedule things for the month. In typical Sean fashion, I spoke up and said, oh, Easter is the first Sunday after the first full moon after the vernal equinox. And as is sometimes typical of me, the answer was both very accurate, but unfortunately not entirely useful. So we had to look it up somewhere else. A friend just recently asked me the same question. Why is it that Easter moves around, but Christmas always stays solid on December 25th? Easter is based on, in part, the Jewish Passover festival. The Jewish calendar is a lunar calendar, meaning it's based on the moon, and when the moon is a full moon, changes every year. In the Gospels, Jesus was crucified after Passover. And so, because it's based on the Jewish festival, Easter shifts around the year with the rising of the full moon. Since the Easter theme of the resurrection and rebirth of nature melds nicely with other pagan celebrations of fertility and spring, many pagan symbols, including bunnies and eggs, were taken and incorporated into the Christian tradition of Easter. In fact, Easter is not the only holiday to do this. Christmas is another example. Jesus wasn't actually born in the winter. And we know this because the Bible says that shepherds were out in the fields tending to their flock when Jesus was born. However, at that time and at that place, shepherds would not be camped out with their flock in the middle of the winter. They only did that in the summer, and in the winter, they'd bring their flock back home. But winter was likely chosen by the early church as a marketing move. They took many pagan traditions, including Yule logs and decorating trees and using candles and lights and that sort of thing. This way, as people converted to Christianity, they were able to keep their traditions. Their traditions were just about Jesus now. They chose the winter solstice, like the vernal equinox, or the spring equinox of the northern hemisphere. The winter solstice is an astronomical event for people living in the north. The exact date changes from the 21st to the 22nd of the month, depending on when you are. Basically, every year it shifts forward by about 6 hours or a quarter of a day until the fourth year, which is a leap year, which shifts it back to the start. It's the leap years that keep the solstice and all of winter from slowly drifting through the year and giving us snow in July up in the north. For some reason, the date we have now is wrong. We don't celebrate Christmas on December 21st or 22nd, but the 25th. This could be for a number of reasons. Maybe it's due to an error in a calculation, or one of the times that we completely changed our calendar, we shifted the days a few days without reevaluating when we'd celebrate Christmas. There may be a simple mistake, or maybe it was intentional to separate Christmas from other pagan holidays which are celebrated on the winter solstice. Others have also remarked that the solstice is about the rebirth of the sun god, and this is certainly true. The ancients saw the sun as dying in the winter and being reborn around midwinter, getting stronger, growing up over the spring, and giving us summer again. These people noticed that the birth of the Son of God and the rebirth of the sun god sound about the same. However, I'm pretty sure this is just an English fluke and wasn't actually relevant in the languages that when these decisions were being made. Also, if you're interested in other pagan traditions about the winter solstice, I'd suggest you check out Saturnalia. One final example of a Christian holiday taking over a pagan one is Halloween, or All Hallows Eve, a halo being what a saint has. The official name for Halloween is All Saints' Day Eve. The pagan tradition of adults giving children treats probably predates this by a long time, and in several different cultures. In some cultures, this is a time celebrating the harvest, or in others, those who have passed away, like ancestors or saints. It's just another example of pagan traditions in Christian holidays. But the short answer is that one holiday, Easter, is a lunar calendar based holiday, so it shifts depending on the moon. The other calendar is the solar calendar, one based on the sun, and that is like the Gregorian calendar we all use today. Other information and references are linked to below in the description.